Somebody asked about 2009, 13th man. I'm not going down that road with Kenny. I'll go down it with you guys, though.
Thanks. That's great.
How often does it come up?
Well, yeah, on this show, I guess. But no, it's one of those things you just really don't think about. You just kind of try and put it out of your head. It's like, mental exercise of blocking it out. I just don't think about it. When it comes up, it's, it's still a little painful. Yeah, I'd certainly love to have 2 Grey Cup rings, but didn't happen and can't go back, and so just let her go.
You thank your dad, Mike, for bringing it up. Was that today?
He just called me yesterday, asked me if there's some sort of 13th man biography. And I said, I don't think so. But then he found one and sent it to me today like I would want to watch the damn thing. I was there. I'm good. And then he started asking me who it was. I'm like, I'm not telling you. And so I just basically hung up on him.
That's your dad.
That's my dad, yeah. Thanks, Dad.
But I will say this. You're both very intelligent guys. I enjoy. Well, Gino's not on the radio like you are, Mike. I hear your analysis, and you've said some really interesting things. You said, don't ever say a game doesn't come down to one play, because that game did. Do you still believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like it's something simple that, people harp on it. Like it's the extra point. I always said the extra point, obviously looking back, we'd always do the extra point kicking and extra point defense at the end of practice, the last 5 minutes. All we did was piss around. Like it was a big piss off show, because it's extra point, field goal, whatever. It'd be like, I remember Schultz would always mess around. It was just kind of like the practice is over. We're just getting this over to get it over with. And then you think back to 2009, it's like, well, maybe if, we'd maybe taken it a little bit more serious, or the coach at the time, Kavis Reed, had, outlined it more detailed, like who's in, who's off, then, we'd have another ring. It's simple. It's just counting, counting to 12. We didn't do it properly. And so even now I tell my young guys, I'm like, you think one play doesn't matter? It does. It doesn't matter. Trust me.
You go along with that, Gene? You must.
Well, sure, yeah. In that case, it's is obvious the thing is it's just one of those simple things that, as Mike said, that at the pro level you gotta be on your game there, and it's too bad it was on the ultimate stage last play, and all those kind of things. And a pro kicker missing a kick before that from a reasonable distance, that doesn't happen too often. So all these little things came together for an unfortunate play.
It probably just would have been better if he made the kick in the first one. You know what I mean? Because it would have
been memorable.
It didn't matter if we had 10 or, if he'd made the damn kick. Later on, he said he missed it on purpose because he's a knob. But give me a break. Even his own teammates.
He's different.
He's an idiot. But
idiot kicker.
Yeah. So it's just tough. And it's like not practicing the shotgun snap. What if you go all season and don't practice shotgun snapping, and then final game of the year you say, we're going to do all our offense from the shotgun? I mean, you haven't practiced it. I know it's something simple, but you got to practice all the little things too and take it somewhat serious.
It's funny, by the way, Jay Rich was on yesterday from Dallas.
Oh, okay.
And
how's he doing?
He's doing really well, really well. And he just said, I said, what was the hallmark of Mark Trestman's time when you were with him in Montreal? He said, details. And by the way, who are you playing in that?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So, but here's the other funny thing. That was a great question from whoever asked who is the funniest guy from Kenny's time in the locker room. We settled on Schultz, but you guys brought up another guy that comes to mind.
Thaddeus Cornegay, yes. There's nobody. Schultz and him they're different funny, but they're both very funny. But Thaddeus is, he's a different dude, and he was one of my favorite teammates of all time. So was Schultz, though. So,
Gino, you go along with Tad? Do you have a Tad story?
I can't. He was just always.
Can't say it on the air.
He was always chirping. He was a fun guy. Yeah, and Schultz too. And he continues to be a funny guy. He always had the eye rollers. He'd say the same thing over and over, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about both those guys? Tremendous football players too. Yeah. And not like they were backup towel holders or water boys. They were tremendous football players.
And we were talking about Tad. I think a couple of us at Hughes and KJ's induction the other night, just saying, Tad should be considered. And I think he played in 4 Grey Cups in 6 years amongst 2 teams, and in every Grey Cup he started a different position.
5 Grey Cups in 6 years.
But the one he didn't play in.
Oh.
The one in Calgary, but the BC one, and then our 07, 9, 10, and I think that was 4, yeah. So 4, he played a different position started a different position in all 4 Grey Cups, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
And in our 3 Grey Cups, he played a different position. It's unbelievable. but he didn't get the respect I think he deserves. And a lot of guys, especially the guys in the locker room.
Don't worry, he's nicknamed himself the Grey Cup Kid. He's giving himself enough.
But that's Tad. I mean, I think Tad would like to be honored too. I mean, he's not exactly the most humble guy, but he's a good man, and he's a great teammate. He is fantastic. There's
All right,
nobody better.
Guys, thanks for coming in. We've got gift certificates for you from the Tap, the Brew House up there in the Northwest Regina, and of course Ballers Rec Room, Regina's newest entertainment destination, which by the way is the host of the after party Saturday night from our flag football game. And you asked if Ray Jacobs is playing. The Ray Jacobs is playing.
I haven't seen him in 15 years. Yeah,
he looks better now.
My first ever memory walking into my pro locker room, and I saw him first with his shirt off, and I almost turned around. Like, I thought, I don't belong here. This guy's a monster. And he looked mean too. Super nice guy, but he looked like one of the meanest people I'd ever seen up close.
Great guy. One of the strongest players.
Oh my God, he was so scary. I didn't talk to him for weeks. I never even looked at him. I was petrified of the man.
All right, well, we'll see you Saturday.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.